Hello everyone and welcome back to Rosebank Farm and Garden. I have a new project I'm going to get started on. I'm going to create a new flower bed. I'm going to use my edger shovel to create the lines and talk about some different ways that you can create a new flower bed. And I've been buying more clearance plants that we're going to put in there. So let's turn the camera around and take a look at the spot I've picked out for a new flower bed. Here's the spot that I want to create a new flower bed. It is located, there's the new path that I put in last fall, and then there's the pine tree, and back behind there is our swing in the catalpa. But this area could use a little bit of love. There are different ways to lay out a new flower bed. I've used spray paint to make the lines of the flower bed. This time I've laid out a hose, so let's go a little bit closer and take a look what I have laid out. So I want the flower bed to start from the arbor and kind of bump out a little bit where this will get a lot of sun right here. And then I want it to dip in just a little bit, not too much that a riding lawnmower couldn't easily make that curve. And then bump out a little bit underneath the pine tree. And then let's go on over here. And then kind of cut in halfway, a little more than halfway across the cement pad to our swing. So this is going to be a pretty easy project. I'm going to be using my edger shovel to cut the line and kind of dig out below the sod. And then I'll be using my shovel to plant the rest of the plants and also get rid of some of the poison ivy in there. If you look right here and right here, those two plants are poison ivy. You can see real good. Leaves of 3, let it be. So I have to be real careful taking that out. I'm going to make a second cut about 10 inches from that first cut I just made, and then I'll be able to either roll it up or excavate it out of there. There, that didn't take too long to get that little section cleared out. So I'm going to keep going following the line of the hose, and I'm going to make a cut and then make a cut about 10 inches and then take that up. So here we go. We have the flower bed edged and cut out. It's all done. There's the edge, kind of swoops in, little kidney shape and on up. I did not do the poison ivy back under here. I think I'm going to call it a night, and in the morning I'll put on pants and long sleeves and I'll get in there and tackle the poison ivy. So we're going to end for now just with the flower bed. Yeah, so excited. It is a new day and I'm ready to tackle the poison ivy underneath the pine tree. So I'm going to get suited up with long sleeves and some boots and my gloves, and I'm just going to dig it out of there. Now I usually mix up a spray of vinegar, salt, and Dawn dish soap, but in this case I don't want to wait for that to take effect, and I want to be able to dig out the roots and make sure I got it all. So we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way. We're going to dig out that poison ivy and hope that I don't catch it again. There it is. The new flower bed looks so much better with all that poison ivy and Virginia creeper out of there. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. All right, it's all clear, ready to go. I'm gonna go wash up real quick. Soap and water will help get rid of any of the oils left behind from the poison ivy. So hopefully I won't catch it. And then I'll be right back and we'll talk about these little limes. Let's talk about this plant. This plant is called the Little Lime. It is a panicle hydrangea. And I was actually misled by the name Little. I had purchased these plants with a different spot in mind. And then when I started to read over their stats, they're not little. They are 3 to 5 feet tall and wide and should be spaced 5 to 7 feet apart. That's not little for what I had in mind, but they're still a beautiful plant. They grow in sun or part shade, and they grow in USDA zones 3 through 8. So I'm really excited about how beautiful they are. This is a newer bloom, how it comes out like this chartreuse white. And then as it ages, it gets the pink and the deeper green. And I just think it is so beautiful. So I'm excited to get these in the ground in my new flower. Sorry about the mess, but I'm trying to get the spacing just right and for the view. So usually I'm walking across the yard this direction, heading towards my path. And I want to be able to see all 3 hydrangeas from this view. I'm standing on the edge of my bank, and I think if I move that far one back just a little bit, I could have a good view of the hydrangeas from 2 directions. So let me move that and we'll see if that looks better. That does look better from this direction. Let's go over and check how it looks like coming from the house. It looks good. I can still see all 3 hydrangeas. So I think that's where I'm going to plant. These are clearance hydrangeas. I got them for $10. I'm not going to do anything special to plant them right now. To get these hydrangeas in the ground, I'm going to dig a hole as deep as they can and twice as wide and add biotone starter fertilizer into the hole because it has, it's hard to say the name, mycorrhizal fungi, which is like a root stimulator that'll help these plants get off to a good start. Now is not the time of year to try to trim or prune or anything on these hydrangeas, even though they are clearanced. They're still in good shape, so we just want to get them in the ground to give them a chance to get their roots established. One down, two to go, but I think I'm going to take a break and go wash up and check for ticks, comb my hair. Since I was working directly in the pine tree, I think that's a good safety precaution. So I'll be right back. Back again, comb my hair out, have my husband brush me off and check for ticks. All was well, nothing was on me, but I also realized that I was digging around in the dirt where the poison ivy was, where there could still be roots, maybe some leaves that fell off, in my bare hands. So I washed up again, just the hazards of gardening. The reason why you want to water everything in really well when you plant is so that you remove any air pockets around the roots and lets the soil settle. Balled into so much more than I had originally planned. Before I give you a tour, I added some liriope right here in the front. It is silvery sunproof liriope, part sun to sun. And the interesting thing is it's only to a zone 6, which I am, so I hope that these survive our winters. But aren't they pretty with the purple spikes? And I think we needed a grassy texture over here to get this flower bed started. First up, I redid the flower bed going into the arbor. I just didn't like that line. I think this is a lot softer and a lot prettier, and just frames the entrance to the arbor a lot better. And then we have the sunproof liriope. There is a clearance, I think it was a salvia. We'll see how it does. If it doesn't perform good next year, then I'll move it. That's the nice thing about plants. You can move them. If you don't like where you plant them, you can move them as soon as you plant them. And then we have the 3 Little Lime Hydrangeas. And I only had 2 bags of mulch, so it kind of ends right there. But there's the curve of the flower bed. Let me back up. So that's pretty much the whole new flower. There's another spot where this project just snowballed. I noticed that the cement was a little bit high up from the ground, so I had the extra dirt from when I was planting. So I put it around the edge of the cement and planted grass seed. So yeah. So got a lot of stuff done that I hadn't planned, but we go back around this way. Look how pretty it is from this view. I think I'm really going to love this new flower bed as I get to fill it up with beautiful plants. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I put in a new flower bed. It was totally unplanned. It was because I had bought clearance plants and found out I didn't have a place for them, so I had to create one. I hope you enjoyed seeing the little limes and learning more about them, and I will keep you updated in future videos about how they are doing. So please like and subscribe to Rosebank Farm, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!